And now our last speaker is a congressional candidate for Congressional District 45, which includes Huntington Beach right here. His name is Mr. Jay Chen. And do we have what? We have Mr. Chen here, a representative.
I have a representative.
Thank you. Come on up.
Yeah.
Hi, Jay Chen couldn't be here today. He wishes he could be, but he's been recently exposed to COVID. So, anyways, I'm here to read a statement on his behalf. He's running for Congress in the new CA45, which actually does not include this site, but all of the surrounding areas. So I'd like to read this on his behalf. I first learned about historic Wintersburg only 1 month ago while researching the 80th anniversary of Executive Order 9066, which authorized the unjust incarceration of the Japanese American community in desert camps during World War II. I was shocked to realize that right here in Orange County was one of the most important Japanese American historical sites in all of Southern California, and that it was in such a state of despair. I made a plan then to visit with my family. My 2 boys attended a Japanese school since they were toddlers, and I wanted them to see this piece of history and connect it with Manzanar, which we visited together last year. I'm saddened that a fire burned down parts of Wintersburg before I could make this visit. Wintersburg is an invaluable piece of history that must be protected, preserved, and promoted. It isn't just a landmark for Huntington Beach, but a critical piece of American history that represents the perseverance and determination of the Japanese American people. It is distressing that the burned building and another building next to it were quickly demolished, potentially destroying crucial evidence hours after the fire was extinguished. This complicates the ability of authorities to properly investigate the cause of the fire. It has been reported in the press that preservationists have been met with orchestrated online harassment, and that the owners of the property wish to sell the land for development. Clearly, there has been neglect in the care and security of this historic place, and that is completely unacceptable. Too often, historic sites like Wintersburg receive inadequate support from the agencies charged with protecting them. In Congress, I will pursue legislation and funding that protects and preserves irreplaceable historical sites like this one. It is my hope that the lost structures will be rebuilt. The possibility that this fire could have been racially motivated also is not lost upon the audience today, in the light of the rise in anti-Asian attacks on our community. In Congress, I will work to ensure that law enforcement has the tools and resources to combat hate crimes and keep our communities safe. We will not live in fear or have our histories erased. I stand with Wintersburg, and I look forward to bringing my children here to know its history. Thank you.
Thank you so much for Jay Chen's campaign. Thank you so much. And now, before we conclude, we're going to have, there's a lot of energy here, right? You all feel the energy here? All right. We should all be really proud of being here. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a picnic right here on Warner.